was all the support and also meeting some great people throughout this state. I mean, this state is a wonderful state. It's got great people, hardworking Christian people, and this is one state that I believe will prevail. But we all know that there are a lot of things that are happening in this state. And when I was running for Attorney General, I tried to talk about less burdensome regulation, having government, having Obamacare repealed. And I think our message was heard. It was tough let's be honest, it's tough to beat Lisa Madigan and Michael Madigan. She had, her war chest was amazing. And she outspent me more than 10-1. But when we went into it, we did have certain goals. One of the goals was to have a good showing, and I believe we did. We had over almost 1.2 million votes against what the Chicago Tribune called the most politician in the state of Illinois. So I'm happy in regards to that. Secondly, we did reach out to a community of voters that I believe have never voted before for a Republican. And I know that because after the campaign, my team and I looked at the voter numbers, and there were lots of areas in Cook County, in certain suburban areas where there were a strong Asian American community where I did very well. So that was very pleasing, and I think we need to continue to progress in that. But here in Illinois, we do need to do more. I do agree with a lot of the things that Robert is saying. The thing is, we don't need all the Chicago or Cook County votes. Think of this. Last election and almost every general election, Republicans get statewide about 2 out of the 10 votes in the city of Chicago. 2 out of 10. That means 8 out of 10 people in the city of Chicago are Democrats? I don't believe that's the case. If we just had 3 out of 10, everyone would be a Republican. We'd have every single statewide office would be held by a Republican if we just had 3 out of 10 voters in Chicago that will vote for a Republican. So there are great opportunities. I have many friends that live in Chicago. My family live in Chicago. They're more conservative than I am. I mean, these people are not Democrats. But one thing that they have concern with is, are they going to stay in business the next day if they vote for a Democrat? If they vote for
the House and the Senate in 2 days' time. Civil unions. Civil unions. Now, the governor came on the House floor the first day that bill was being debated and worked the members of the House, saying, we need your vote for this. This will create jobs. It's important to the state of Illinois. We have civil unions in Illinois. And so it passed. And it came over to the Senate. And the very next day, he did the very same thing and came on the Senate floor and worked the bill and worked the members to see to it that legislation passed. And then he walked off the floor. But before he walked off the floor,
this lack of leadership. We talked about Ronald Reagan having leadership, lack of leadership, and just basically no vision for the country. It goes as far as to go play golf while we're dealing with the nuclear crisis in Japan and bombing Libya. And you wouldn't catch Ronald Reagan doing that, and a whole host of other examples. But like I said, where's Ronnie when you need him? And closer to home, we got Pat Quinn. Heard a lot of stories about Pat. Rod Blagojevich made us angry every day. Every day we were in our district or in Springfield, Rod Blagojevich made us angry. Didn't matter if you were Democrat or Republican. But Pat Quinn, there's just no leadership. He tries. He's liberal to the core, we all know that. But he's not there working legislators on the key issues. He doesn't know how to balance the budget. He cannot bring himself to make important cuts. The ship is going down, and it's halfway up his body, and he cannot lead himself out of this. We've talked about just his inability to cut, the early release of prisoners. Remember that last summer? I mean, where's the leadership in that? His unwillingness to enact real reforms for the business.
Concerning education. Not only being a businessman all my life and being in business with my father in a dry cleaners when I started, but I've served on several school boards on the state level and even in the high school level. And Southeast Illinois needs IECC. It's a unique situation. There's only one other college district in the state of Illinois like IECC. IECC is composed of 4 colleges. You know them, he's been mentioned. It's important to Southeast Illinois not only from the employment standpoint, but also from affordable education for our young adults and even those who need to be retrained. Today, all day, we've had open house at our dealership. Even with the snow, we have open house at our dealership. And one of the ladies came in and with her husband and was talking to me, and she was saying she was from Clay County. And for some reason, and I don't know why, she said, lost my job last year. I said, oh gosh, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, the economic turned down in Florida. I lost my job. She said, but I'm at Olney Central College taking new classes. I'm taking classes to retrain myself. And I said, what field are you going into education? What field are you going to? In administration, in business, in accounting. And how great that it is and how wonderful it is that we can have a college, community college here in Southeast Illinois so that we can have people retrained as well. And that's important for us. I've had a lot of people ask me, why are you wanting to run? It's my passion. It's my passion for education for this. April 5th is just a few days away. Statistically, this is an election that is not very well attended. And I challenge you today, I challenge you to take it seriously, because it's important that we elect trustees who are willing to answer those hard questions so that we can keep this 4-college concept together and that we can go forward and Southeast Illinois will prosper in that.
Petroleum technology is a great program, is a great experience. Therefore, I'm a vice president of a bank in Robinson. But the point of that is the quality of education that I received and what it taught me. And it gave me, there's Aaron hiding over there, thank you for that. It gave me the opportunity to believe in myself and trust in myself. And I also agree with what you said about the number of people that touch us. This evening, and I'm a college sports fan, I love college basketball. And tonight, before the meeting started, I kept sneaking back and forth to the bar, not to drink, but to watch the Butler basketball game. And the assistant coach for Butler used to show up at my house for dinner a couple times a week, and he is now the assistant at Butler. Played basketball, was an All-American at Lincoln Trail College. There was a young man on crutches sitting here a while ago, and I am devastated he left before I got to make my comments. So tell him I'm withdrawing the scholarship offer to Lincoln Trail. How's that? Okay, done. You know, the great thing is that we all sometimes take for granted what a great community college district we actually have here. Last year, we almost lost one of those schools. Last year, we looked at riffing instructors. In the last 5 years, junior college enrollment in the surrounding districts is up. I spoke with the president of Vincennes University last week. VU is up 80% in the last 5 years. 80%, building a new campus in Princeton. Have one in Jasper, Indiana. Kaskasky has a great campus. I talked to Al Kors, who was actually an instructor of mine at Lincoln Trails with Kaskasky. He said the numbers are great. Lakeland in Mattoon, beautiful campus. Numbers are up. IECC is flat. We have a Democratic president who believes in community colleges. We have that knucklehead in Springfield who's from that same party, and I believe the chairman of the IEC is one of those guys too. And we're going to close our schools. Change. These guys have talked about it all night long, and I feel it. But I need your help, not a year, not 2 years. We need your help next week. It's time for a change on the IECC board as well. The two incumbents are great people, I'm sure. I can say that, they're not here to defend themselves. But if things are great, why is enrollment flat? Why are we not growing? Why is everybody else? And I appreciate the fact that IECC has one of the least expensive tuitions in the state of Illinois. But I challenge the district, if it's the cheapest and nobody's going, it's the wrong product. So we've got to think ahead, we've got to think forward. And I love these guys to death and I want to see them change. We're asking for change next week. Bill Sandiford, number 4 on the ballot, last one of that. Please vote for me. Thank you very much.